It is Sunday, April 3rd, 2022, and we are on the Morgellons Call of the Week, about to start our Q&A section of the call.
Great. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Richard Tunes, author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons and Other Skin Parasites. And again, the FDA requires me to inform everybody, since we're going to get a little technical in this portion of the call with some specific recommendations, that before you accept their recommendations or even start the diet, that you're to consult with your doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you're presently experiencing. The FDA also requires us to tell you this is for educational purposes only. We cannot diagnose, cure, treat, or mitigate any disease. We can educate you how to clean your skin, how to clean your environment, how to utilize the King diet, and how to build health and immune functioning through targeted supplements that we recommend. Mary, what question do we have, number one?
Okay, this is from Libby, and she says, "Hi, Richard. A million thanks for all of your love and guidance throughout this journey. I live with 3 dogs and 3 cats. I consider them my family members, and they have full access to my home, including my bed. Of course, I launder my bedding every day, along with many other items. But my question is this. Since I am religiously following the King diet, can you or Robin recommend a specific dog and cat food for my pets? Unless they are following the same type of diet, I feel that I'm doing all of this in vain. One more question. As long as my dog and cats are on a veterinarian strength flea and tick medication, are they protected from organisms, mites, springtails, Morgellons? I do sprinkle diatomaceous earth on their bedding. I also have DE all over my floors too. I just would like to know that I am actually on my way to recovery, as long as I know they are as well. Just a side note, ever since I started taking the Nit and Pyram on a daily basis, it has helped me significantly. Yes, I am also taking Lufeneron and Fenben with it. Thank you, Richard. You are truly a vessel of love here on earth."
Okay, Robin, I think that's a good question for you, for the pets. You have a lot more experience than I do, and I think pets are wonderful. I think they are better than most people to live with.
Definitely.
They don't fight over who's going to pay this and that, and it's wonderful. Okay,
yeah, except my cat follows me around and yells at me. All right, so yeah, it is important that they have clean food. I have found 3 things that I feed my cat, and they have this for dogs also. You'd have to look them up online to see where they're sold in your area, but one is called Origen, ORIGEN, Regional Red, and mine is cat food. They actually catch animals or organically raised animals from the region that you're in, and they make dried cat food out of it. Or dog food. It's really good stuff. And then there's another one called Primal, PRIMAL, freeze-dried pet food, and that is amazing. It's the one that I have for my cat is beef and salmon. It's freeze-dried. You crumble it up and add water. There's also a turkey pate wet food that I use for my cat, and the brand name is called Perfect, P-U-R-R, Perfect turkey pate, and he loves that. But in addition to the right food and diatomaceous earth rubbed in their fur and in their sleeping, places, you also want to give them Nit and Pyram. If they're infested, I would give it to them every day for a month. If they're not infested, maybe once a week. Lufeneron once a month, and you can get these at online pet stores or at the Lufeneron people have a place for pets called fleasmart.com, and the doses go by the weight of your pet. so, you know, you have to weigh your pet, and then you can order the appropriate thing for them. And in addition, I use a what is that collar? It's a I forgot the name of the collar.
Seresto?
Yes, Seresto collar, which the price has gone down on those, and one collar lasts 8 months, and that helps tremendously. And the other thing is that when my cat was really infested, I was giving him flea dips once a week, and then it went to once every 2 weeks, and now I just do it once a month as a preventative, unless I see him starting to itch. And it's Adam's Pyrethrin Flea Dip for dogs and cats. And the directions are on the bottle, but if you have a cat, I suggest you use one. It's a little blue bottle with a red cap, and you use one capful in a cup or two of clean water, and you use a washcloth and rub it all over them, hold them by the scruff of the neck, and hold them for 10 minutes if you can. I do it in the tub. And then you have another cup of clean water with another washcloth, and you wipe it down. And that really pushed everything over the edge for my cat towards health.
Great. One thing to clarify, when you're ordering the medications from fleasmart.com, do not take those medications like Nitin yourself. Order the Nitin from shop4 Morgellons cured, shop4morgellons.com. The reason being, the capsules are of different composition for animals than they are for humans. Okay?
Right, but Richard, they actually, the Shop for Morgellons people sent me a sample.
Right. The Shop for Morgellons Shop for Morgellons handles both companies.
But they sent me a sample for me, and they said you should buy more of this. It's the Nitin and the Lupheneron in one pill, and it's called Flea Smart Plus for extra large giant dogs.
Right. That's for the animals, and she recommends that humans do not take that. Okay, that you get them separately. You don't buy the Nitin and the what is the other medication that's in there?
Lupheneron.
Lupheneron. You don't use that. You don't use that one for humans. You only use that for pets. That's what she recommends. They handle both companies. Okay. All right. So thank you, Robin. Hey, maybe you could do, if you have time, do a report, and we can do an update on all of what you said there, all of your recommendations.
Sure. Let me write that down.
That would be super if you had time to do that. Okay. What's the next question, Mary?
This one's from Margaret, and she says, Dear Richard, if I pass my parasites along to someone, what is the best thing or things to tell them to do so they can tackle the problem right away? The idea of spreading this terrifies me.
It is a terrifying situation, and it's got several components. Number one is if you do pass it along and the person doesn't know that you have it, it's a matter of how do you come clean and be responsible, and you have all the fear of them being angry and upset because you allowed it to happen. So it's a lot of stress there. But getting down to the nitty-gritty, I hope everybody has at least a supply of the Nature's Gift skin lotion. 8 ounce will last you forever and ever and ever because it goes a long way. Or at least the Nature's Gift body wipe or the mouthwash or some Nature's Gift product on hand. People who contract these organisms early on, and catch it within a week or so, or hopefully less than that, the diet is not necessary. It's not necessary to do that. The organisms attack the skin, and then they need to migrate in to make it a problem. They need to get systemically involved to make it a problem to the point where you need to use the diet. So that's one thing to do. And then obviously, if they are showing symptoms, you want to avoid the shedding aspect, because once you start showing symptoms of the itching and the biting, and particularly if you're dealing with columbella, and this can also happen with Morgellons, is that you can start shedding these organisms in the environment. So you'd want to disinfect the clothing, the bedding, and the furniture around where they are, like post-haste, at least a couple of days straight. And if you do it proactively, quickly, you can pretty well make it a non-event. But the bigger issue oftentimes is the political problem and the interpersonal relationship, and knowing the person well enough to encourage them to do this for their own benefit and your peace of mind as well. You have anything to add, Robin?
Nope. No, I think you covered it.
Great. Mary, have you ever had the problem of infecting anyone?
No, but I'm really worried about being around my mom a whole lot because she's elderly, and I think she has the same immune problems I do. And she says she believes me, but she does not have any problems with being in areas that I've told her are heavily infested, like my car and you know, me. And she just doesn't take it seriously. So I just keep my fingers crossed all the time.
Yeah, a lot of people don't take it seriously.
I do have a couple of things to add. I would never take anyone in my car. Either they follow or we meet somewhere. If I go to someone's house, I make sure that I am bathed, oiled up, clean clothes. I don't sit on furniture that has fabric. I try to sit on wooden chairs or plastic furniture. I'll even wipe it down afterwards. I'll wipe my shoes before I go in the house. I'll bring a spray bottle of Nature's Gift or something. If I suddenly feel itchy, I would go in the bathroom and just spray my whole body. And just want to be really careful. I have infested a couple of people. One friend, they got in his eyes, and he went home and washed his eyes out, instantly washed his clothes, took a shower, and was fine because it was bam. And I had another friend who I was teaching guitar, and she started getting really itchy hair on the back of her neck, and I gave her, this was before I had found you, Richard, and I gave her a bottle of peppermint oil with water, and she just sprayed the heck out of everything, and she was okay also.
Great.
But they both caught it right away. It's hard when you're dealing with people who love you and want to believe you but don't have a clue. Like my sister recently invited me to come stay at her house while she went away to feed her cats and sleep in her bed, and and you know, I had to decline. I just don't feel like I'm there yet.
Right. Yeah. So thank you. That's important, and it's true. In the very beginning, I mean, even things like over-the-counter, like Caladrol lotion, in the very beginning, may be sufficient to ward these things off. Would be something to reach for, or even maybe Neosporin, something like that in the very beginning. If for some reason you're caught short and you have none of our products on hand. You mentioned the little spray bottle. That's always a good thing to have with you, no matter where you go, is to have a little spray bottle of Nature's Gift. Spray it on toilet seats. You know, it's a good disinfectant to use to protect yourself from future infections of you might get from toilet seats and things like that. So great, thanks. Chris, do you have anybody that has a question? You want to open the line?
Yes, I have a fine gentleman and his wife. They are logged in all the way from London. It's 10 o'clock over there, so I thought I'll open the line first, so that as a courtesy, so that they can hit the bird at the correct time. Okay, Patrick, I'm going to open your line now.
Oh yes, thank you, Chris.
You're welcome, Patrick. Go ahead, please.
Well, this is for Dorcas, and this is our very first call. We have a lot to learn, and it's really extremely good for us to listen to and to join a community such as yours. I think this is exactly what we need, Chris. So we're still listening. We're listening very well, and we're finding out all that we possibly can. We haven't started the diet yet, but very shortly we will be doing so. And I can assure you that we'll be joining every week. May I ask you one thing, Chris? And
yeah, you can ask Richard. Richard is on the call. He's going to answer you.
Hello, Richard. Hello, Richard. It's really good to speak to you. I have one question for you, and that is that we're both vegan. Will this affect us? Will we still be able to join the diet?
Of course, yes. Yes, we've
adopt the diet.
Yes, we've had that discussion many times. It's maybe a little more stressful, but you can get your protein through some rice. Robin, do you remember the specific rice that's high in protein?
I think brown rice is the highest in protein. Basmati rice is the lowest in sugar.
Okay.
Basmati. Okay, thank you, Basmati, yes.
And I understand that if you soak your beans overnight, they may be okay in stage 1. That's something you may experiment with.
Okay. Thank you. Yes.
Now, we do have, one of our coaches is a vegetarian, and she would be glad to speak with you. We'll be giving out the phone numbers after the recordings have stopped, and so you can get her phone number and call her in the States at some point and get some more tips and pointers. But we have many vegetarians and vegans who have successfully gotten their lives back and adapted the diet to their liking.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much, Richard. Dorcas, would you like to? Thank you. I'm wondering if Dorcas would like to say. Do you have a question? Would you like?
Not at the moment. We'll start with the diet and read the book, and then continue with that, and maybe next time.
We're finding the book extremely interesting, Richard. Thank you very much indeed. You really are, all of you, and especially Richard and Robin, a very great help to us. Thank you. I think this is exactly what we need, because we've been the rounds of the medical people, and I'm afraid we haven't been able to get much from them that's helped us in any way. Would you agree with that? Yes. So thank you very much, Richard. We're still learning. We're all ears at the moment.
Well, you're very welcome. Keep coming back. Unfortunately, Morgellons is just not a take a simple tablet and get your life back kind of thing. And the more you know about it, and it is overwhelming in the beginning because of all the different cofactors, but the more you know about it, the quicker and faster you get your life back. And people who succeed in this program are the people who make the diet work for them. They read the book over and over. They study the book. I mean, every time I revise the book, I read it, and I'm amazed at what's in the book and what I find. I didn't know that was in there, but it's in there. It's part of the research I've done. That works. What also helps kick the diet in is we have a parasite stop formula, herbal. In nature, it's an herbal parasite stop formula, and it is incredible. It helps kick the diet in. So take advantage of everything that we have.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Keep coming back.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Okay, who's next?
Okay, I have a couple of questions, if I could, please. I've experienced discoloration of my skin on my thighs, and I notice in my facial area. And I'm trying to, weed through the products to see, what I need to get first. And of course, I'm going to order the debriding soap, but I'm wondering your take on that. And also, I noticed with aging, oftentimes folks have less muscle mass, and I'm just wondering if Morgellons and mites have anything to do with with that issue with muscle mass from one's body. I've been taking a tablespoon of the diatomaceous earth daily. I need to drink more water, and I'm trying to decide. It's so confusing with all the different options for water. I wanted your views on that, and then of course, I need to really start focusing and with the products I want to order. But I'm a little bit overwhelmed with everything. It can be just doing daily life aside from my symptoms and trying to have the energy to move forward here. But thank you for listening, and I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Of course, the number one thing is to make the diet work. Have you succeeded at that?
Yeah, I'm better. I'm working through it. In all honesty, I've kind of gone to stage 2 a bit. I'm doing the best I can. I'm really, like I say, I've come a long way since I've been on the call. Let's put it that way. I do notice that I have had some lessening of the crawling and the biting, so that is a good thing. But again, one of my main concerns here is the environmental. That's a biggie, and we need to move, and that's another subject. Finding a safe place to live and having the energy to downsize, and what I'm saying. It can be a lot to deal with. So
yes. Now the discoloration that you're noticing, what is that? Like spots of purpleness, or what are they?
It's kind of like I notice on my face. It's a new symptom. It looks like my skin pigment has gotten more red, and in my thighs, the pigment has changed.
Okay. Now, how long have you been on the diet or doing the diet?
Since I've been on the call, it's probably been, how long have I been on the call? Of like a month, I think.
All right. And the change has just started happening?
Well, I noticed on my thighs before I found you all. Mm-hmm. I noticed that, and then I'm just wondering if I'm detoxing too much with the diatomaceous earth and I'm not drinking enough water because, at my age in life, I'm in my elderhood, and it's, every time I drink, I have to, vacate the room and use my
yes,
my facilities, is just.
You asked about the water. Definitely as much as 8 glasses of water a day. The Nature's Gift ionic minerals is the best, is to put a sachet in your bottle of water. You want to use either glass or Lexan. It's a special hard plastic. You don't want to use anything less than that. You don't want to use any metal spoons or anything with that water once you have it in there. That is going to help alkalize your system and give you a superior amount of minerals that your body needs. The discoloration, are you using any of our Nature's Gift products, the skid lotion or creams, or are you bathing with it?
No, I haven't ordered, Richard. I haven't ordered the products as of yet. I need to get to that place and figure out how to do it. What products to get first. That's the thing, and how I need to talk to Chris about. Like I said, I'm a little confused about the ordering. Let's put it that way. My brain isn't there yet.
Yes, Robin.
I know Anna and I have been trying to connect on the phone, and you can call me after the call and we can talk about it. But,
okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, but I wanted to say that these organisms can cause what looks like bruising and discoloration, and I would call it like alligator skin. They can
right,
cause,
that's what I have. Yeah,
right?
like
yeah,
alligator
and
skin.
The thing is, that's not a detox reaction. That's just the parasites, and as you get the diet to kick in and get the products, and you get better, it will go away.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Because it's like I say, it's just so many. You know what it is for many of us. There's so many things to deal with. You know.
Right, and it will go away. Do not be worried.
Okay. And my face. I mean, it's like weird. You know, right? By my eyes, there's like
they love your
you know,
eyes.
it's weird. It's weird. It's kind of like I feel I'm dealing with aliens.
Right. Well, we can talk about it later. But
Thank you so
much. You can get eye wipes that will help, and Richard has an eye cream that helps. There's a lot of stuff you can do that will minimize it as you get better.
Yeah, because I mean, there's so many products that I want to order, but I'm thinking, you know, should I order them all at one time, or should I, you know, separate them because, you know, could get too heavy, you know, with our postal carrier, and we've had issues here in Georgia, you know, with sometimes with delivering, you know, it just can get complicated. You know what I mean?
The first thing that you want to order is the concentrate, the new concentrate, the 9 ounce. That's the first.
I'm going to go over that, and you know, so I know specifically what I need to do because.
So you want to be bathing with take one capful, take the cap off, and pour just one cap, and you want to be bathing in that 2 to 3 times a day. But you're ahead of yourself with the diet already, because all this cleaning of the skin would have been good to have started about 3 weeks ago. I would project that had that been done, the discoloration would be gone by now.
Okay, because I've been kind of.
Well, not necessarily. It also depends how bad the environment is.
Yeah, the environment here is really it's like I say, it's gotten. And then, of course, you know, we've had a tremendous rent increase. We've been leasing for 25 years, which is real bizarre. But, yeah, it's kind of like really freaked us out a little bit, you know, with the situation which is political, of course, another topic.
If the environment is that bad, there's no possibility that you could be getting to stage 2 yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, I can't, you know, I guess the goal is to get enough. You know, my husband has been a great help, but he has his own issues too, and getting enough energy. That's what I need. You know, the energy and to move forward, because it takes a lot. You know, when you don't have children or family to help you, or I have to hire people to help me, and that's the other thing. You know, how to be able to protect myself from people that come in here. So.
Well, we can talk about it later.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you all very much.
Okay. Who's next, Chris?
Thank you, Chris. How you doing, Rich?
Good.
I'm doing a lot better. I'm on the Cineron, and that helps me. And, you know, I'm doing a lot better. I feel a lot better, and I could say, you know, I got it in remission again. I don't know if I'm out of the woods yet, but I feel better, and, you know, I'm happy that I'm at this program today, because if I didn't have this program, I don't know what I would do with the situation, you know. All I got to say is I thank you, Richard. You're like a saint, and Robin and Chris, I don't know what I would do without you. So I'm very happy.
We're happy to be here. We're happy to be here for you, Nick, and we're happy to be here for everybody who joins this call. I wish we had 100 people on the call, but we probably have only about 40, but you're the 40 that count today. And we want to support you in every way that we can, so that, because we know it's not an easy 1, 2, 3 thing. As Anna expressed before, it's overwhelming. You know, where do I go next? What do I start with? Well, the diet is number 1. She's working on that. Number 2 is to clean the skin. And that is, I mean, we're not here to sell our products in the store, but quite frankly, if it weren't for the products in the store and the income that's derived from the store, I wouldn't be on this call. It just wouldn't happen. We wouldn't have the resources to do this. That's the bottom line. So we're not here to sell the products. If you can find products that do the same thing, good luck. Find them. I've never found them. I've never found anybody who has found any of the products that do the same thing that our products do. So number 2 is clean that skin. get that skin clean. The ideal way to start this is number one, you see the intro email that you get from us, that you order your first bottle of debriding soap. And it takes at least 4 days to get it. By the time the order is placed and processed and the mail gets to you, maybe 4 days. In that 4 days, you make the diet work. You get started on the diet so that as soon as you get the concentrate, you jump in the tub with it and you start cleaning your skin. Also, before you get it, you start reading a book, chapter 3, and you work on your environment. So if you're proactive, as you were, Nick, you get the environment handled, you get that diet kicked in so that when the debriding soap arrives, you're ready to jump in the tub and clean that skin and get the skin. And then next is you look at the skin lotion, which is an incredible product. You can get into Super MSM Gel, and you can get more familiar with the other products. If you have eye issues or problems around, there's eye cream. So you look at the other things that can be helpful. But that's number one. Get in that tub, get the environment clean, and get the diet going. And the results are you get your life back, as Nick has. Thank you, Nick. Keep coming back. Mary, you got another email to read?
Yes, I do. This one says, if I take ORAP, I'm so restless, I can't sleep at all. If I don't take it, all the parasites start coming out of my nose again. You didn't deal with this at all? It's
Take it in the morning.
Well, you know, the medications that are listed in the book, ORAP, Primazod, there's Seroquel, Wellbutrin, there's Abilify, 11 of them. And they are all basically listed as, or claimed or acknowledged as antipsychotic medications, but which leads people to believe that, well, I'm not psychotic, I shouldn't be on these medications. But why do these medications help? Is because all of them have the ability of reducing dopamine uptake in the brain. And there's research that is in one of the blogs that are on the bestmorgellonscure.com site that shows that when you reduce dopamine uptake in the brain, parasitic activity goes down. And the medication they used in this study was Primazod, ORAP. And these medications, typically, any general practitioner that you ask for a prescription is going to give you a half-hour dissertation on why you shouldn't be on ORAP. And they're right in terms of the side effects that these medications can have. ORAP can interfere with cardiac rhythm, in fact, okay? But we use them because they reduce dopamine uptake in the brain, which reduces parasitic activity. So it's like we have to be bad to get good. But hold the party. We have now the Nature's Gift Parasite Stop herbal formulation. So I never had the side effects, although I did notice some motor issues way back when I first started using ORAP years ago, now 20 years ago. And my doctors had me go through the cardiac test and all, you know, run me through the whole ringer because of the fact that I was on ORAP for some period of time, which is good, you know, got a good heart, and it really never had an impact on my heart. But for people, some people, it just makes them so they can't focus, they can't concentrate, they can't sleep. Side effects. That's why doctors practice medicine. That's why these medications have to be by prescription. So if one medication doesn't work, a doctor who is knowledgeable in this would then shift you to Abilify or shift you to Zyprexa. Now this Zyprexa requires liver enzyme being monitored routinely. So, but the Parasite Stop formula is great. It does the same thing. It reduces dopamine uptake in the brain, no prescription required. It is phenomenal, phenomenal. So I recommend forget the medications, go to the Parasite Stop formula. The ingredients of the formula also reduce inflammation, increase our ability to fight organisms, antibody protection. So the Parasite Stop formula is super healthy and also reduces dopamine uptake in the brain. So don't go directly to jail. Go to Parasite Stop formula, as they would say in Monopoly, some game like that. Okay. You got anybody else, Chris?
Hi, it's Therese. Thank you. How are you doing?
Good. How are you, Therese?
Okay. Great. Thanks for your email yesterday. Appreciate you answering my questionnaire. So here I am again. It's rare that I'm ever home on a Sunday because I usually fly. I have that hideous career flying around everywhere, staying in yucky hotels. But anyway, here I am, and a couple questions. First of all, actually, I'll tell you the progress real fast. So I'm only on day 3 of the diet, and lo and behold, I did not wake up once with the biting, the severe biting and, you know, painful scratching and all that. I never woke up once for the first time last night. Isn't that great?
That's how it works.
Isn't that crazy? So I'm super excited about that. I do wake up like with a lot of, I want to say like Lyme. I didn't wake up though last night, but normally I wake up with like heat flashes, which could be my age, 54 almost, but I'm pretty well maintained in that. Otherwise, I kind of think they're like Lyme fevers that come and go because they're a little bit different. But anyway, so now, and I'm also on week 6, probably about week 6 of the debridal soap baths. I've been doing 2 caps of it, so I'm going through it too quickly. So I got to taper down. I just ordered more, and it's a different formula. It hasn't come to me yet, so I'm going to be out for a few days, which is a bummer. I have a few of the other products. I've been using the debridal cream. It's kind of the shea butter and the coconut oil. I don't know where I'm supposed to use that because it's such a small container, but I put it like on my lesions. When I usually get my lesions on my face, unfortunately, it's really upsetting, on my chin, and it has those crazy ass, sorry the language, it has the crazy cotton filaments that come out, like so scary and just alien filaments that come out of these lesions on my face, mostly my chin. It's really distressing. Like, I can see why people, I don't want to say the word, but I can see why they go over the edge with this disease. So there's that. And then, but like I said, the diet, I'm on day 3. And here's some good news. Funny news. My first egg, I made my first egg this morning in 2.5 years. Because I usually just stay away from eggs. I was told by another person they're bad for people with autoimmune, so I just stayed away. So I had my first egg today, sauerkraut, all these things with no flavor, which is great. And I'm telling you, taking away the sugar is a game changer. I mean, really, it is. So there's that. So thank you. I have the book, like I said. I ordered that a while ago. And I'm kind of trying to get through that just because I've got distractions. But here's a couple questions. Sorry to ramble. My questions are, I'm in a little apartment, and my son comes and goes like half the week. He's a college student at local college, so he goes between here and another house. And it's so small here, and Morgellons galore, you can probably tell. Just like I vacuum, I do everything. I don't really know how else I'm supposed to disinfect besides vacuuming.
It's all in the book.
Oh, it is? Okay. So I've been sprinkling borax detergent all around the windowsills because we have a carpet beetle issue as well. So it's just hitting us at all ends. So I don't know if I'm supposed to make a solution with the debridal soap and water and put that in a spray bottle.
Read chapter 3 of the book.
Okay, chapter 3. I will just do that. Okay, I've got the book, so I'll do that. And then, all right, no, need to. Can I ask you one more?
Well, Chapter 3 is very difficult, but let's answer your question here. You're asking about spraying what? The environment?
Yeah, and my card.
All right. Well, you can start with an inexpensive ammonia, spraying ammonia, and then just not breathing very much of it, spray and move away. You can do that.
Okay.
I would recommend, if at all affordable, is the electrostatic sprayer that is very efficient, and you can do the whole area in like 15 seconds if you're in a small area. You can do the whole area, and it really gets everywhere. It gets everywhere. You don't. I mean, obviously, though, if you're going to spray your bed, you're going to want to. It's not going to go under the covers. You're going to have to take the covers off and spray, and maybe the different layers. But so that's a really way to go. Now you can
Where do I get that?
What's that?
Oh, where does that? Is that on your website?
Yes, it's in our store. We have electrostatic sprayer. There's a whole section for disinfection. So you go to the catalog, go down to parasites, and then on the right will be a whole drop-down menu, and you go to the disinfection tab.
Oh, bummer. I didn't see that. I just made an order of other stuff, and I'm so tight with money. I should have saved my money for that instead. Bummer. Okay, well, I'll have to pine away for that. And in the meantime, so don't make the debridal soap diluted and put it in a spray bottle. Just ammonia is best?
Just use ammonia. I mean, it's too
100%.
the debriding soap is too expensive to use it that way.
Okay.
Just use ammonia, and that should do it.
Okay.
You can dust diatomaceous earth as well. That's very inexpensive.
I have that. I just don't know what to do with it. Does that dilute? Do I put that in water and spray, or do I just sprinkle it?
You can take a few tablespoons of diatomaceous earth and put it in a spray bottle, and then don't fill it all the way with water. You want to, and then shake it up good, and then spray lightly, because when you spray it, you're not going to see the diatomaceous earth. It's just going to wet the surface. When it dries, if you spray too much, it's going to be caked up. So you just, very lightly spray everything.
Okay, and that's safe for the clothing and the bed?
Well, there are protocols for laundry and then for keeping clothes clean after the laundry, and there's stuff for your car. Besides, you can't put ammonia in the electrostatic sprayer. You want to use disinfectant or an enzyme cleaner like Clean 'em Up Zyme. So just know that if you go that route. And there's also ozone generators that you can get that help, but you can't be in a room when you do that.
Yeah, the ozone generator is becoming far more cumbersome compared to the electrostatic sprayer, because you have to vacate the area and leave for like 3 hours. Okay.
You've been so nice about the time you've given me, and I have more, but I'll just put that next Sunday so you can go to the next person. I'll be on the next call next week, too.
Okay, look forward to having you back, Reese. All right, thank you
very much. You guys.
Have a great day.
You too.
Melanie, you can go next. Melanie.
Thank you. Thank you. I recently, I have a friend who's a doctor, and I had some serious pinworm issues, and she prescribed albendazole. Well, my head just went berserk, and all these things started coming out of my head that looked rather wormy-like. I kind of have been freaking out, thinking, neurocysterosis or whatever you call that. Here's my question. I have this, the Parasite Stop Herbal Formula. Would it be wise to use that at the same time as the albendazole that I'm currently on, or should I maybe wait, or what?
No, there's no interaction between the herbs and the albendazole. Fenbenzidole is said to be according to Dr. Luna, the animal equivalent to albendazole. So, yeah, and that would be the right approach to go. Albendazole, fenbenzidole, to deal with that, get them out of your system.
Absolutely. Well, what's really shocking is it appears to be the same thing coming out in mass out of my scalp, and the only I don't know what that means. I mean, I believe neurocysterosis, or however you. I can't speak well today.
Did you say? Are you talking about myiasis?
Either myiasis or neurocysterosis, or whatever that's called, which is basically worms that that are pretty dangerous.
Yeah. Okay.
But on the other hand, whether I can get a doctor to diagnose it would be something else. But that would be a very serious disease if that, in fact, is what's going on. But all I know is what appears to be, worms are now coming out of my scalp because I had this massive pinworm problem. So now I'm thinking, oh my God, what do I really have?
You've been dealing with this for 10 years, right?
Yes, I have, and my head's gotten the size of a basketball.
Right. So now finally you got the right treatment, albendazole, and you're getting results. So you've got a buildup of 10 years worth of organisms that have been having fun in your scalp that are now coming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you're on the right path.
Yeah. She doesn't really know how much to give me because she was just nice enough to help me out because she has a niece that has Morgellons, and she's one of the few doctors that believes it's for real. And she didn't really know how to prescribe it. So she just said, oh, take it for 3 days. And when I went and researched it, there's so many different ways to take it, including taking it, massive amounts of it, that I'm not sure when I'm going to stop doing it because I bought some from the Canadian pharmacy. But I don't think 3 days is going to cut it. But, I'm not sure how I'm going to proceed.
You want to go to the site that we use, and it's called shop4morgellons.com, using the number 4, shop4morgellons.com. And they have fenbendazole in 2 different strengths. I think he recommends 424 milligrams. You do it for a whole duration. You do it for 3 days, 1 capsule a day for 3 days, and then you're off for 4 days. And then that's the routine you go through: on for 3, off for 4, on for 3, off for 4, until you use up the entire supply of the medication.
Okay.
You can.
I've got a bunch of fenbendazole. I was on the Fenben wagon for about 3 years. It never seemed to do anything, but I do have Fenben as well as this actual albendazole. So I looked up albendazole on there and it wasn't there, but I could go switch back to Fenben, or should I just stay on this albendazole? I don't know.
Well, what is the strength of the Fenben that you were taking, and how often did you take it?
Let me get the thing here. Let me see how much it is. This is come on. Okay, each Fenben tablet is 300 milligrams.
And how often did you?
I was taking it once a day, and I did that for like 3 years, and for some reason, nothing ever happened.
Well, maybe
my head just kept getting bigger and bigger, but the albendazole seems to be, wow, I mean, I'm like Medusa here,
Well, okay, so your experience tells us that the albendazole and the fenbendazole are not exactly the same, but they're pretty similar. So stick with the albendazole and go with the doctor you're working with, and let her figure out what's best for you. Obviously, when all of them are gone and your head is back to normal, then you're basically gotten rid of that cofactor.
Yeah, I don't think she has any clue. She just said to take it for 3 days, but against her wishes, I've taken it for 5 days, and now they're really pouring out. So, because she doesn't really have any idea what she's doing. She just knows it's real.
Right. Well, that's one good step in the right direction. So you may have to be going back to her several times and getting more supply, unless you want to switch to. I don't know where you got the Fenben that you were using. The one that Dr. Luna has is 424 milligrams. I don't know about the quality of the Fenben that you were using versus his prescription grade. I don't know. There are things that we don't know.
Okay. I didn't see albendazole on his site because that's the first thing I went looking for. No. But I know they cost about since Albenza bought the company, it went from like, $5 a pill to like $300 a pill. I had got mine back doors from the Canadian pharmacy is how I got mine.
He doesn't have albendazole. He has fenbendazole. And he claims that it's the equivalent to albendazole, but it's 424 milligrams, pharmacy grade. and people are concerned when you get it from Canadian pharmacies or other international pharmacies, they don't really know if they're giving you real good prescription grade or not. It's unknown. But we know that what he uses is the right stuff. He is not a pharmacy. He uses it in his clinic, a cancer clinic in Mexico, because he treats all of his cancer patients with lufenuron and fenbendazole. And there's research that says it's very useful in the treatment of cancer as well. So we know the quality is what we want.
Okay, well, I got mine through, the popular Firm Protocol website that you're probably familiar with, and I don't know if his is top quality stuff or not. I have the lufenuron on the way. It's already been ordered, so that's one good thing too.
Well, the only one I can vouch for is what he sells. I can't vouch for any other pharmacy that sells these products. Okay, thank you, Beth.
Thank you.
Okay, keep coming back.
Leslie,
the other thing is you just want to be under a doctor's care so that you can get a blood test every month or two so that there's no liver damage.
Yes. Okay.
Good point, Robin. Okay, who's next?
So I have a question about the clean 'em up sign, and I thought maybe you could coach me on the car and the headrest in the car, because I'm getting to where I'm getting close to having the mites on my head conquered, but I haven't really dealt with the headrest in the car yet. So am I going to make a spray with the clean 'em up sign and spray the headrest? Am I going to spray the whole car? Can you give me a sense of...
You're going to dilute the clean 'em up sign according to the instructions on the label or on the website. And you're going
They're actually not on the label. I have to go on the website for it. And I was hoping in the future you'd put the little chart so I don't have to go to the website, so it would come with the clean 'em up sign product. But keep going. You are answering my question. Sure. Keep going.
You're going to dilute it, and you're going to spray the headrest and everything in the car everywhere. The ideal thing is to put it in the electrostatic sprayer where it will get under the seats and every place, but you're going to spray the best that you can. You're going to spray the steering wheel, under the dashboard. You're going to spray the side of the car. You're going to spray, the doors of the car. You're going to spray the console. You're going to spray the headrest. You could even put a plastic bag over the headrest and put some menthol crystals in it, but you want to try to seal it up so that that would be the nth degree.
And if it's a newer car, I think after 2015 you can get a new, what is that filter called?
Cabin filter?
Cabin filter, yes.
Yes.
Which really helps.
The cabin filter, that's a good point, Robin. The cabin filter is the filter that is in your air circulation system. It's usually located somewhere behind the glove box. You can go on YouTube to see how you can change it out for your particular car yourself, or you could take it to the dealer and have it changed.
Cabin filter, okay.
Another thing that, I don't know if it's in the book yet, but after you clean the carpeting in the car and you spray everything, if you use a rug and carpet, it's like a carpet cleaner, and it keeps things clean, and parasites hate it. So it really helps in disinfecting the car.
A spray thing, kind of?
I can't remember. Wait, I'll tell you what the name is. I believe it is Scotchgard Rug and Carpet Protector.
Listen, I'm writing Scotchgard Rug and Carpet Protector. So I might want to put that on the seats as well, because those are an upholstery.
If they're cloth, yeah. But you want to make sure it doesn't get on plastic or glass or metal. There's directions on the bottle.
Carpet. Not plastic, metal. I wanted to ask another thing. People keep talking about borax. I read your book, it's been over a year, and I don't remember the borax thing. And people have talked about ingesting borax from that they're buying from your site, but somebody was talking about.
Borax is boron, and some people, instead of taking the boron tablets that we have, just take the borax, a pinch of borax in their fingers from the box that you buy for your laundry and consume that. I mean, that's up to you. I would recommend the tablets, and you know exactly what you're taking, and the quality is different. In fact, one of our boron supplements has got 5 different types of boron, or is it 3? I don't know, 3 or 5 different types of boron in it. So, but yeah, it's recommended to take.
Does that help with intestinal parasites? Because
no, boron is the antidote to Morgellons. But the intestinal parasites and now many of the other things we talked about are cofactors that need to be dealt with first before you can be effective at dealing with Morgellons.
And then I'm also wondering, would they work with the scabies, with the scalp mites, if the boron helps that?
No, boron has nothing to do with mites, okay?
Okay, so that's helpful information.
Boron is only to be helpful with Morgellons.
Okay. And
the
I think
mites and the scabies, we talked about the whole program last week was about Win the War of the Mite. So go to that link and you can learn all about mites.
Well, I wanted to mention one other thing that I have found helpful. You have a product, so this is for people with the scalp thing going on, the mites in the scalp. You have a product, I think it's called MSM Gel, and I find that, if my scalp starts to itch because those mites are going nuts, if I will rub the MSM Gel into that itchy part of the scalp, it stops itching, and they, and
yeah,
so
the MSM Gel is wonderful.
Well,
yes.
And so I decided maybe what I want to do, and I did this last night, is, gee, if it helps that much, maybe every time I wash my hair, I just want to, while my hair is still wet, and, maybe I just want to put that MSM Gel on every single time, and I thought,
and then
well, I
cover
might
your head with something tight. There's a protocol on bestmorgellonscure.com.
And I know that because the very first time I came on the call was when you had it was a scalp day. So I know about the oil, the coconut oil and the peppermint oil and that whole mixture, and the plastic bag or the bathing cap, and I know about that. I've tried that, and I found it very helpful. The thing I have to do about that is I have to have enough of my day committed to washing the hair, putting the stuff on 3 or 5 hours later, washing the hair again.
Well,
and
you could just do it at night, and then you could rub it in the morning and leave it.
Yeah, that protocol is for, when it comes to these organisms, nobody is affected to the same degree. There are people whose scalps are a major problem, and they really need to do that protocol 3-4 times a day to get any improvement whatsoever. I never had a problem with the scalp that way. So your problem with the scalp is a lot less dramatic than some people's are. So you figure out what works for you. And the Super MSM Gel is nothing but super. It has diatomaceous earth in it. It has nature's gift in it. MSM is organic sulfur. These organisms deplete our skin of organic sulfur, so it replenishes the sulfur that the organisms are removing from our skin, and it really quiets things down within seconds. Wow, anywhere on the body that sulfur is needed. So not only in your scalp, but you can put it on your arms, on your back, on your neck, on your legs, on your feet, anywhere, and it quiets
this is
things
very
down.
helpful because I bought your sulfur soap, and I use it every time I bathe. First I do sulfur soap, and then I do the Nature's Gift soap. And now you're telling me that the MSM is also sulfur. So now I'm starting to understand why that's helpful. Because when I bought your Nature's Gift soap, there was a real change in, cleanliness of the skin and feeling like prickly clean. But when I did the sulfur soap and followed it with Nature's Gift soap, then it was like the whole next level. So now I'm starting to understand that if that MSM is sulfur, I'm starting to understand why my scalp would want that and why it would be so helpful. So right. I'm glad we're having this discussion, because now I have some understanding I didn't have before. Because MSM was just MSM. I didn't realize that was sulfur. So that's really helpful info. Thank you.
Great. It is overwhelming, and that's why we're here to support you and everybody to help fill in the gaps and understand what all goes into this. There's a lot of, we're dealing with all these cofactors. The first portion of our program was about biofilm as a cofactor, and there's Lyme disease, there's mites, there's protozoan, there's all kinds of things that are cofactors and that deplete our bodies of major nutrients, and that's one of the things that our goal is to educate you as to what nutrients, targeted nutrients, are going to replenish your health and immune functioning. And
the Lyme is something I've been slowly getting better from for several years now.
Are you taking our Pack of Life? Are you taking our Pack of Life supplements?
No, because it's very, very expensive. But I'm thinking I might, sometime soon do it. Like, I'm on food stamps, and when I buy that, I can turn it in, and what they'll do is they'll give me more food stamp money because I bought that. So at some point, I probably am going to. You renamed it. It's not called the Lyme thing now. What's the name of it now?
Okay, it used to be called the Columbella Lyme Pack, Lyme disease pack. We were aiming at people who were dealing with Columbella and Lyme disease, but when we really look at it, it's really the Pack of Life. It's not that you should only take this to get rid of Lyme disease and Morgellons and Columbella. It's beneficial to take this pack for the rest of your life, not just until you get your life back from parasites.
Well, in my very first call that I joined in, there was a woman who, when it was her turn to talk, she said, "Oh, if you can afford this, do it." And I've been thinking of it ever since then. And so maybe I should try to afford it, in a month or two if I can. So I've been wanting to afford that, and we'll see. Maybe I can do that soon. I'll try that.
You can always, like for instance, it suggests taking 2 capsules of Max 1 a day. So take 1 capsule a day.
I have some of your Max 1. It's almost gone, but I did buy some of that.
It suggests taking 1 tablet of the multiple vitamin. Take 1 every other day. It's better than none. So you can do that with all of it. Yeah, you can stretch it, make it last for 2 months, and you're still better off than you are with none.
Okay. So these are good considerations. Okay. Well, I just got a whole lot of information, so I'm glad I got a chance to ask some questions this time. So thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Keep coming. Your name?
This is Kelly. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Kelly. Good.
I'm Kelly. Hi. I have a question about you and your mental health and how did you keep your mind straight to push forward, to push out of this disease or challenge that you had with your health? And I have doctors that'll stand across the room from me and say, "Oh God, you got it bad." The people that I've been dealing with for the last 10 years with this issue have not helped me. They have done nothing but about killed me. So I just was wondering, how did you mentally stay so strong to get here where you're at now?
I guess my background was before I encountered these organisms, I had been a stress management consultant for about maybe 15, 17 years. So I'm I was into managing stress, into affirmations, and I had no idea at the time they were actually beneficial or that I was actually using them. But I guess I was. It was something I knew that I didn't know was beneficial or used. But that didn't keep me from getting so depressed when Lyme disease just about crippled my life and took it. I was depressed to the point where I was ready to jump off a bridge. Not that I wasn't depressed to that point when I first encountered these organisms back in the 90s, in the middle 90s, after I had gone to doctor to doctor to doctor and still woke up at 3 a.m. every morning with biting and having to jump into a tub for some minor relief and thinking that I'd never get anywhere and finding nothing on the internet. I mean, it didn't keep me from wanting to end my life then either, although I thought, well, you know, I had a 3-year-old son at that time, and I kind of didn't want to miss his life, which is part of what kept me going. But, you know, so I've been as depressed as they can get, as anybody can get, and I know what it feels like to not want to wake up in the morning, to hate the possibility of another miserable day and nothing but itching and biting and bad news. You know, it's one thing that you have the bad news from the suffering, but then you add that to the bad news of things that can happen during the day with business and relationships and stuff like that, where, you know, that can sometimes wipe you out just by itself without the organism. So I know what it's like. I've been through it. And I had, back when I was in the stress management, I created this Up From Depression program because I worked with a lot of people when I was in stress management who were depressed. And so I started listening to my own program, and it didn't cut the mustard. Something was missing. So I went back and I rewrote the program, and it's free. It's available on, it's available on YouTube. It's free for everybody, Up From Depression. So anybody who is where we all are, I hope that you all work with the program, the Up From Depression program, because I can't imagine one human being going through more than 2 weeks of this, and after going to 2 or 3 doctors, not being depressed as hell. I can't imagine.
I'll tell you. Oh, can't imagine is right. And then having them practice surgery too. That's fun.
I had a wonderful writer living in South Africa who wrote a lot of our blogs a couple of years ago, and she ended up taking her life. She couldn't have control of her own environment. The customs rejected our shipments that we sent for her. So it's terrible. There's no help out there, except for Robin and Harry and my coaches and Chris. We're here.
A blessing to everybody. I obviously am going through the same thing. I have not filled out your questionnaire. I'm dealing with the fact that I cut all of my hair off and it still sticks straight up in the air. And I'm mentally just trying to move on and keep going. And I'm glad to have you guys here as a resource. So
in the meantime,
any questions, but, you know,
in the meantime, just
mentally,
find one thing. Just find one thing that you can look at or feel that provides you a sense of being able to get from one moment to the next. For me, when I was severely depressed, on my kitchen table, I just happened to have a photograph of my cousin's young adopted Chinese toddler, the beautiful smile. And if nothing else, I would just look at that picture to get me from 1 minute to the next.
Oh, you're going to make me cry.
1 minute to the next, because you don't know what the next minute's going to bring.
Right. Yes, that is true. That is true. So now that we got my tears flowing ready for everybody, but have you ever heard of, and I might be misinformed or not informed at all, but like large whiskers like coming out of your back of your neck? I've had my neck like spasm so bad. I like feels like razor blades are poking out of it.
Well, they're filaments, and if you read Dr. Saverly's book, again, we cannot diagnose you. Do not have the medical training.
No, I was just wondering if you've ever heard of it.
If you read Dr. Saverly's book, any filaments that are coming from your body that are extraordinary or different are an indication of Morgellons disease. They're comprised of collagen and keratin. They're comprised of collagen and keratin. And the studies that they have by Dr. Biddlebeen and Dr. Strickler indicate that they often have spirochetes within them or on them as well.
So I came into one of my doctors and my rheumatoid and told him what was going on. He could see how sick I was. I was very, very sick with a fever, and I think I had everything like you had. I had the hot tub thing, and then I had my hair cut for a drug test for the courts, and I got infected on my head, and my family betrayed me. So I had a lot of not only repressed emotions to have to try to get back into norm after losing my mom, my dad, taking care of my dad for 5 years, and then I lost my dogs. I had my narcissist take everything from me, my home, every single penny I owned, and my kids, everything. And then I got sick like this, and I got handed a piece of paper saying body, mind, spirit. And that was it. And that's how that and baby shampoo will do it. And I thought to myself, well, oh my gosh, can emotions bring Morgellons on, or is it?
Okay, you're talking about immune functioning, and we've known for a long time, even when I was back doing stress management, we know there's a relationship between emotions like depression and immune functioning. So people who are depressed, as we often are, it's like a snowball going down a hill, because our immune functioning is definitely incapacitated the more we are depressed. And the more we are depressed, the more our immune functioning is incapacitated, the more prevalent and serious the organisms are. The more the bacteria, the spirochetes grow, the more the more the symptoms, the more the parasites grow.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. I gotcha. I see where you're getting at.
This is exactly why we have the third segment of this program, which will be coming up next, is managing stress.
Yes. I have a lot of emotions tied into my immune deficiency disorder as well. So.
Thank you for sharing. And as Robin will tell you, our purpose here is to do what, Robin? Take these emotions and do what with them?
Turn them into a call for action.
Right. So we want you to bring all that frustration, the anger, depression to our program and allow us to support you in turning them into a call to action. Because I got my life back. I'm no special person. I don't have any special talents any more than anybody else here. I figured it out. Any of you could figure it out. I just happen to be lucky to figure it out myself and to share it with enough people to know that it works. And that's why I'm here, because what I figured out is a protocol that works for everybody.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. And I saw you have personal coaches where you're grouping people up with coaches and stuff. That is great. So any kind of support. You know, a lot of people don't have that.
We have coaches who are glad to support you and helping you get their lives back, because they are on the way or have gotten their lives back as well. So thank you. Keep coming back.
Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome.
Also, I know you talked about stress and depression and the immune system, but don't forget the cortisol levels go up and the creativity goes down. So those are two things that enhance parasites as well.
Okay. Mary, do you have another email to read?
And it says, "Hi, Richard. This question has come up several times, and I don't have an answer. How much pool shock to put in a tub of water? Thanks. It's summertime here in Florida. We will probably roast during the real summer months. Take care, Ethel."
Yes, Ethel got this question from one of the people that she's coaching. Ethel is our coach in Florida. She's a vegetarian, and she's a great, wonderful person to talk to. And we'll be giving her number out later after we stop the recording at the end of the program. One of the people that she's coaching is asking about pool shock. It is in Chapter 3 in a book. As I recall, you can get pool shock either in the liquid form in a gallon jugs, or you can get them in tablets. I don't know about the tablets, but when I was using it, it's very economical. I think it was about 1.5 ounces that I put into a bathtub of water. You get one of these syringes that, they measure up about 10 ounces in it. So you just put in 1.5 ounces and you squirt that in the tub as you're filling it, so it's dispersed throughout the tub. Okay, Chris, you got anybody else?
Hello, this is Jeanette, and I've had Morgellons and chronic Lyme's for quite a few years. And in November of 2020, I might have been the first of many that had the C virus, no V. And at that time, I thought I would die. The mucus was 24/7 for 2 days and 2 nights. I couldn't sleep. I just had to continually spit out this mucus. What saved me at the time is an MD that gave me prednisone and an antibiotic. I don't normally go to MDs anyway. So it was improved to the point where I didn't think I was dying. But since that time, almost 2.5 years, I am housebound with the thickest super glue in my throat, to some extent sinuses and abdominal region. I also developed mast cell activation from long haul COVID. Should I say, needless to say, I'm at my wit's end. I'm very, very thin, lost tons of weight, don't have severe chronic fatigue, and I don't know, am I overwhelming you right now? I want to start back on the King's diet. I brought other people to you. I believe in you, but I don't know. My eyes hurt. There's nothing on me that doesn't hurt. I've lost cartilage in my hip. And is there a lab for biofilm where I could get to the bottom of what this is? Does that make sense to anyone?
I don't know of any labs, and I don't really know if there were a lab, if there would be a specific treatment for it at all. Our first segment today was about biofilm, so I would encourage you to listen to that over again. I thank you for sharing my information with other people that you've known through the time. You said you're about to start the King diet again. I think that, number one, that you want to do that. Number two, are you experiencing the itching and the biting that goes along with the symptoms of the parasites?
To some extent, but I know if I touch my toe, I'd feel it under my arm. I know, what would you call that? I can't think of that word. Wired? Is that a good word? I don't know. It's in my system. I know that.
Well, I'm trying to assess the need for you to do the cleaning of the skin with the bathing and the disinfection of your environment, or whether we're better focused on building your immune functioning. That's what I'm trying to assess right now.
When I filled out the form for you years back, I did see I had columbola.
Right.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I had that. But I don't know. I mean, it's in my scalp. I got doused 6 hours on a Saturday and another 6 hours on a Sunday. I didn't know what it was with chemtrails, and my scalp still hurts underneath the scalp, even though there are no lesions. And I recently, along with 2 other local friends, interestingly enough, have what looks like a little bit of a cigarette burn that came out of the skin. It's a hard cap. I find that pretty interesting. I'm assuming that's the Morgellons.
Is it like a dark blue bruise kind of thing looking?
It's gray, like ash, gray ash.
It could be. Well, anyway, trying to assess which is more important, building immune functioning or basically dealing with the Morgellons. they're probably both, but I think the more important one is the immune functioning. Are you on the Max 1? Are you on the Pack of Life supplements that we have?
No, but I'll get them tomorrow.
Yes, definitely. In any case, building glutathione is going to be supremely important. And I've said this many times. There are the experts who are into Lyme disease and COVID, and they, whether it be Dr. Horowitz or Dr. Klingart, and they focus on building immune functioning with all kinds of different supplements, even Linus Pauling years ago, 10,000 milligrams of vitamin C, and everybody, all these fantastic experts seem to overlook the value and benefit of building glutathione. Building glutathione is in every cell of your body. Every cell in your body creates glutathione, builds its own glutathione. But with physical injury, as you have had, sickness, which you have had, Morgellons, an injury, which you have had, glutathione reserves go way down. Zero. So the first thing and the most important thing for anybody is to build glutathione levels. The Max 1 product is the best and only product that I know to do this quickly. And you need to be careful because glutathione is the body's major detoxifier. So all the heavy metals, all the pesticides, all the stuff that's been built up, the nickel, the cadmium, the mercury, all these heavy metals, as you begin taking glutathione, are going to have to be released, have to be gotten out of your body, and can cause detox problems, detox issues. So you start with 1 capsule a day. You go to 2 capsules a day. You go to 3 capsules a day. You might do this over a couple of weeks. You go to 4 capsules a day. You go up to about 8 capsules a day if you can afford it. You don't have to be on this long term, but I remember this applies to mental as well as physical. Werner Erhard, and this goes back into the 70s, and he said something that always rings true. We all suffer in life, and he's in terms of short-term suffering rather than long-term suffering. Well, of course, he was talking about emotional suffering, but I'm talking about both emotional and physical suffering. So by building glutathione levels up higher and higher and higher, you're going to minimize the long-term suffering because it's going to get rid of all the toxicity, reduce inflammation, read anything you want about disease, and the number one enemy of disease is inflammation. Every disease is associated with inflammation. Glutathione is the major anti-inflammatory there is. I mean, even the Parasite Stop formula has anti-inflammatories. There are a lot of anti-inflammatories out there, but glutathione is the number one.
Okay, I do have an anaphylactic shock reaction to pepper, and then heart palpitations, et cetera, with pepper-related things like cloves. So I'm really, really hoping there's no pepper or peppermint in your items.
Okay. Now, the glutathione, the Max 1, there are only 3 ingredients, all right? L-cysteine, which is a protein. D-ribose, which is a natural sugar. Vitamin C, 300 milligrams. So that's all Max 1 is. It goes into the cell and creates intracellular glutathione. Now, it also boosts immune response as well. Many people say, well, since I take Max 1, I don't catch colds anymore. Well, then, ta-da, in comes Garcillin, which is the body's antibiotic, antiviral, antifungal, antiprotozoan, antiparasitic, according to Wikipedia. All right, so you start with 1 capsule a day of that. You can go to 4 or 5 or 6, and then switch over to Garcillin 2, and back down to 1 or 2. So you want to be ready for massive detox. So now you want to prepare. You don't want to be like the Lyme doctor who treats Lyme disease with antibiotics and gets the patient to the point where they're having Herxheimer's reactions, where it's life-threatening, and then you have to stop the treatment. All right, you want to be prepared. So prepare yourself by either A, getting zeolite from Amazon. Zeolite is a detoxifier for detox reactions, or 2 things. The agro-relief enzymes in combination with our Nature's Gift complete amino acid formula. And that reduces detox reactions. That takes care of the detox reactions that are going to happen. So if you put the pack of life together with either the zeolite or our enzymes and amino acids, you're ready. And you can have short-term suffering. And I'm not going to make a claim, but I wouldn't bet that you wouldn't be out there in about 6 weeks, being kind of pretty much normal.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Is there any, I know everybody wants that magic pill. Is there any short-term relief to get this super glue out of my throat? Because sometimes I really can't breathe and it makes me crazy. I mean, anybody would feel very nervous if you're...
Are you using the mouthwash?
Sorry. No, I've been away from you for a while. I just kind of, I think, gave up. You know, I felt I was self-medicating. I have family with MDs, and, you know, they're down on me. So I will do that. I will get it. And hopefully there's no peppermint.
No, there is peppermint in the mouthwash.
Peppermint in the mouthwash.
Great. Great.
You can make your own if you want. You can, how about cinnamon?
Cinnamon is high histamine, and I was not able to eat a thing. One day I woke up and I couldn't eat a thing. And I researched and found I needed to do low histamine. So that's been about 6 weeks to the best of my ability. Not great. And I'm not that far away from your king diet. I'm not that far away. I think I cheated with salmon because I have such dry eyes and very painful eyes. But I'll stop the salmon and go back, 100%. I didn't find the diet a burden at all.
You can get drops for your dry eyes.
You have sinus?
Yes, I wake up every hour and a half to do that, drops, yes. Boron has good one.
You have sinus congestion. Is that contributing to the mucus in your throat?
Yes, and that's been better. It's been better recently, but yes.
Get the Nuvage. There's a device called Nuvage. It forces circulation through your nostrils, in one and out the other, and you can reverse them and go both ways. And you can add a couple of drops of Nature's Gift concentrate to the solution that you're circulating through your nostrils, and that'll help diminish the mucus then.
Also, if you have columbola, which is springtails, I suggest getting some Garden Safe Fungicide 3 and get the concentrate and making a spray using a capful with like a 12 or 16 ounce spray bottle and spraying your environment with it.
Garden
you
Safe.
Can spray your head too. Neem oil will kill You can buy, or it's called Garden Safe Fungicide 3. It's an organic pesticide that's 70% neem oil. In addition, you can get organic neem oil, like 16 ounce bottles on Amazon, and just use that straight on your head, and it literally kills springtails.
I'm sorry, I'm not catching the name of that oil. Organic what oil, please?
Neem, Neem.
Okay.
Use it.
Hopefully I'm not sure if that's in the pepper family or not. I kind of stayed away from.
I don't think so. No.
Okay, and the last question would be laundry. What do we put in our laundry? to get rid of the fibers there.
Do you have the book?
I do. Should I go read it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have the most recent edition, the 11th edition?
No, I don't.
Email me and I'll be glad to send it to you. Robin, you want to go quickly through what you do? You put it in the tote with ammonia and just quickly go through it.
Okay, so you want it, well, if your washing machine has a pre-soak feature, you can pre-soak stuff in ammonia, but you can also get a plastic tote with a cover, put 2 inches of ammonia in it and let the clothes pre-soak in there. You could put plastic egg cartons on the bottom so the clothes don't get totally soaked because it's the fumes that are pre-soaking them. And then in the wash, you put a cup of borax in with the clothes. And I personally use Richard's laundry detergent or enzyme cleaner, and ammonia in where the bleach section is on the wash. Wash on the highest heat for the longest time. In the dryer, since you can't use peppermint oil, just use dryer sheets sprayed and soaked with ammonia. Dry for at least an hour and a half, and then put everything in airtight, heavy-duty Ziploc freezer bags or big Ziploc bags so they don't get reinfested.
Great, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sure, keep coming back. Let's get your life back.
Yes, I'd like to say something to the last lady that was on because I have so many allergies. I too am allergic to peppermint. If she's off the diet, and I know this sounds crazy, but sometimes when you're allergic to something, it will manifest itself as pain. So, like my daughter, when she was young, she was on massive amounts of Neurontin, and when she went gluten-free, she was able to come off all of it. So it may be something that she's eating that's also jacking up her pain levels.
Right, and you can't be mostly on the diet. I know, you have to be all on or it doesn't work.
It's like being mostly pregnant, right?
Yeah, you can't be a little bit pregnant.
Well, is there anything I could substitute for the salmon to give a little moisture to my eyes other than the drops that I wake up to do?
Well, you can use butter. You can use rice bran oil, and you can cook with that. You can make salad dressings with rice bran oil and lemon juice. I mean, read the diet. There's lots you can do.
Animal fats, you can...
Animal fats.
Yeah.
And...
consume the skin of chickens, just fry it so that
that's very high histamine, so it doesn't work for me right now. Hopefully I could get back on track.
There's a drop that my dermatologist recommended called Blink that's really good for moisturizing eyes.
Okay.
Okay, great.